I didn't looking at myself in the mirror a lot of time. Now I'll be like, wow, is that me? I didn't think that could happen. like my my arms looking away, I've never experienced. I see like muscle definition in my legs. My clothes fit so much better. I was starting to wear clothes from like years ago that I probably should thought I just had to retire forever, but I was like, wow, I can actually fit this now.
What's your name and where do you live?
I'm Dustin. I live in Seattle, Washington.
Awesome. And, in a brief one or two short statements, what was your situation before joining this program?
Before I joined the program, I had gotten to a place of being like pretty uncomfortable with my body and where I was at. I had lost some weight a couple years ago, and then regained it all back plus more, and I wanted to like feel better about myself and feel better in my own body.
Yeah, right. And then being in that position before, how did that make you feel?
I was pretty disappointed with where I'd gotten. I consider myself like a kind of active person, but I like didn't fit in a lot of clothes I was wanted to. I was like covering myself up more than I wanted to, and I like thought about my own body image more than I wanted to, and I wanted to like feel more confident in my own shoes and just be able to like feel better about myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what were you unable to do that you wished you could at that time?
Oh, I wish I could like look in the mirror and like feel proud in a lot of ways. I like definitely didn't at the time. I wish I would just feel like more comfortable. I wish I had like better control of my eating habits. I would just like eat whatever all the time, which like I like food. There's no problem with that. But I definitely like didn't know things that'd be like beneficial for myself.
And then did that have any negative impact around, around others around you?
Uh, I don't necessarily know that it had like negative impact on other people. It was more just me like beating myself up in my head a lot.
Well, that's definitely definitely a good thing, at least from the starting point. Okay.
Yeah,
And then just tell us how, you found me, my company overall.
yeah. Found you on Instagram. Watched some videos. I was curious about. Bye. I was curious about trying it. I looked at like a lot of different like trainers, a lot of different coaches, and I was just like, should I do this? I messaged a bunch of people. One day I was just like, okay, I just need to do this, and I was like, I just messaged you, and I was like, we're just gonna try it, and then ripped the band-aid off after that.
Yeah. And what were your initial thoughts going through the process?
Uh, the initial phase of I was like surprised by how much I had to eat. Well, actually, no. I was first surprised by how much I thought I was eating a lot, and then you told me how much protein I wasn't eating, and I was like, wow, that's way less. Even less than I thought. And then in the first phase where I like ate a lot more protein, I was like, wow, this feels uncomfortable to eat this much. And because that phase I was like still trying to figure it all out, I was like, this isn't working, nothing's changing. What is this? Did I sign up for the wrong thing? Um, yeah, that was the beginning for sure.
Sure, sure. I mean, I guess leads like to the next question then is, what were your doubts, fears about all this?
Yeah, my doubt was that you see all these like photos on Instagram, you see all these like hopes and dreams of what you could look like, and I was like, I'll never be that. Like that's not possible. I'm kind of like stuck where I'm at. I I was like, does this guy know what he's talking about? I don't really know, but I like need help from someone. Um, I yeah, mainly I was just like, I'm gonna put all this money in and like I don't know where it's gonna go, but I need to like try something for myself. Um, yeah, that's what and I also like doubted if I had enough time to do a lot of it. I already like was dedicating time to working out generally because that was just like part of my regular routine, but like cooking, changing eating habits, things like that. I was like, also, it was well, that cost me more. Um, yeah, I thought of all those things. I'm gonna grab my charger really quick.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, no worries.
Right. keep going.
Yeah, yeah. And then I guess, I mean, you kind of answered it already, but what made you say yes anyways?
Oh, uh, I remember when we first met, you described how like simple things could be, and I was really surprised by that. I was like, okay, I like a year plus before working with you, I'd been working with a personal trainer generally, and that I'd seen like a lot of progress in. I was like, just getting an individual coach to walk me through things was really helpful for me, and hearing you describe how simple things were, and you sent me like I think the list of the protein things like immediately. I was like, okay, so this guy has resources. This guy can make it simple. Um, I just was like, I feel gross in myself a lot of the time, and I need to do something.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so then you felt that way before, right? And then where are you at now?
Mm. I've had like so many moments in the past like 6 months and recently even of I told you I didn't look at like looking at myself in the mirror a lot of time. Now I'll be like, wow, is that me? I didn't think that could happen. like my my arms looking away, I've never experienced. I see like muscle definition in my legs. My clothes fit so much better. I was starting to wear clothes from like years ago that I probably should thought I just had to retire forever, but I was like, wow, I can actually fit this now. I I feel far more like informed when I go to eat something, when I go to make something, when I think about across my day, what am I trying to eat that's like good for me, helpful for me, that like will make me both like feel good and like look good in a way I want to. I feel way more like informed and confident in those choices. I feel, yeah, I feel more confident in the way I like show up, and I've seen like a lot of like progress in the gym as a result in the past 6 months. Even just like increasing the protein, suddenly I was like, wow, I'm like feel so much stronger, so much more quickly, and I was able to like see the numbers increase over and over and over again. Even today, I was in the gym and I just came back from a trip, but so I thought I'd regress in some ways, but not really actually. I was able to like still stay on par and even be stronger than I was 6 months ago still.
Damn, damn. Definitely all them desserts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what are you able to do now that you couldn't before?
Uh, there's a lot of things in gym I definitely couldn't do before. Like I could lift more than I could like you take name the lift. Bench press, squat, deadlift, like all across the board, like more. Uh, I I can like walk into or I can like look at a menu and be like, this is the right choice that aligns with how like I want to look, how I want to feel. Versus before I just like wouldn't consider and that I'd feel gross later if I ate something. Uh, I I feel like more comfortable and like confident looking at myself, and I think like long term I like want to feel even more comfortable like no sleep, shirt off, things like that. Like I want to be there too, and I'm like working towards that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And what positive impact did this have on others around you, if there were any?
Mm. So like in the past 6 months, my partner also went through some health stuff and ended up being diagnosed with diabetes. So it was actually really helpful for us. I had already like been learning so much about like how to track things, how like protein, fiber, carbs, all of it. It was actually like pretty complementary. That really helped us like work on that together. Um, so that was helpful. My partner ended up losing up weight too, which was great. So like it benefited both of us. Um, it I feel like I don't know. I guess that's how it's helped other people. But really, I did this for myself, and that was like really important to me.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, right? And then I guess the last part of it is, what would you tell somebody who's watching this right now and is unsure about taking the next step?
I think in the beginning, I definitely felt like some sticker shock of, wow, that's actually like kind of a lot of money for me to like put down. If somebody else experienced that in the beginning, I'd say, yeah, like whatever your financial situation is, and like coming out on the other side. Like I have learned so much and I have like changed how I look, how I feel. I've changed like being stronger. It's like worth it in the end. So although it feels that way, like it's okay to invest in yourself and like the payoff on their side feels pretty good. I would also say I kind of like put it off. I was like, oh, I have this. This is more important right now. This is more important right now. I don't have time for XYZ. Actually, just like ripping off the band-aid and saying yes, like spend time on it is totally worth it. I would tell them like I never imagined I'd be the guy who'd like feel comfortable like thinking I could just like take my shirt off and be okay. And like I feel much better about that now. And like summer's around the corner and that super helps my own confidence. I never there's a lot of I've never been like the strongest guy in the gym, nor do I like truly aspire to be. But I feel like, oh, I can like show up in my own now, which is really good. And like I feel like I know how to like get better at it.